Hey YouTube, so I host a video on long-range knife throwing. Before we begin, I'd like to go into some gear I like to use on long-range throwing. Here's some cards. Now, the goal of a card is not necessarily to cut, but I like to use like the center icon as aim point. Like for instance, I would aim at the very tip of that clover. The smaller your target, the more accurate you're going to be. That's electrical tape. I like to use the electrical tape for my knives. I like to wrap the end of the knife so that you can see the knife's rotation and how it hits the target. You know, if the point hits up, you're going to need to back up a little bit. If it hits forward, you're going to need to scoot up. Alright, the Tomahawk I'm using is a cold steel Spike Hawk. That's not the original 22-inch long handle. That's probably another 18-inch one I put on there. And the knife is a cold steel Pro Flight. Alright, here I am at about 12 yards. And as you can see, the knife hit with the point up. Hopefully you saw that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoot up just a little bit. Well, add a little bit extra wrist flick. And that right there was a pretty perfect. The knife was almost parallel to the ground. Now when throwing for multiple rotations, the fundamental thing to keep in mind is consistency. You have to be consistent with all your throws, meaning your wrist flick has to be identical. This can be very hard to achieve, so what I like to do is just simply lock my wrist, and that just takes that variable out of the equation. Here I am at about, I'd say 18 yards. And as you can see, there's about a 6-yard difference between my 2 rotation and my throw, my 2 rotation and my 3 rotation. This makes sense because a 1 rotation throw for me is about 6 yards. There's 2 other factors that come into play at long-range throwing. Believe it or not, when you throw a weapon, it spins faster as it gets going. Gravity takes control of the front end and it just spins faster. But this is canceled out by the fact that you have to lob it up just a little bit and add altitude. So the altitude adds a little bit of slows the knife down just a little bit, but the speed of the forward end speeds up the throw. And as you can see, with practice and using a focal point like the club on that card, you can get very close to the target. Alright, here's my Tomahawk. That was a little over 2 rotational throw.
That's why I like the Spike Hawk.
And as you can see, the Tomahawk stuck upside down simply because of the spike. I'm going to try that again. Same exact thing happens. As you can see, the Tomahawk over-rotated a little bit and stuck with a spike. As much as I love it when the spike hits, it can be slightly annoying when you're trying to get 2 perfect rotations, and also it'll eat pretty big holes in your target. And as you can see there, I don't learn very quickly, and the same exact thing happens. Alright, here we go. That was a clean 2 rotational throw. But it was a little high. I'm going to see if I can do a little bit better. This right here is a 3 rotational throw from about 18 feet back. No, 18 yards. And this right here is why you use a focal point, like the club on this ace card. When you aim at such a small target like that, it's like the quote from the Patriot: "Aim small, miss small." The smaller your target, the smaller the margin of error. And as you can see, you don't always hit your focal point, but sometimes you do. And I'd kind of like to see that again in slow-mo, if you don't mind. One rotation, 2 rotations, and 3 rotations. That's definitely not fake. Alright, thanks for watching. If I missed something on the video, or if you would like me to do a tutorial on some other style, let me know. Y'all can thank Freshboy187 for the idea, and God bless.